Kevin Holland seemingly is retiring from the sport before hitting 30 years old. He posted today a few hours ago on Instagram that he got paid and now he's out looking for another career path, and then after posted that he's going to be opening up a car club, which seemed to be something that he's been wanting to do for a while. But what's the reason for this? This was shockingly unexpected from a fighter who is fighting as often as he was. I mean, he just talked about wanting to become a champion. He just talked about wanting to become one of the best fighters in the world, and all of that, progressing in wrestling, filling up the holes and doing away with all of his weaknesses moving forward. It seems like his focus was solely on becoming a better fighter, and then all of a sudden, he wants to retire. Something must have happened. And he did post, before he talked about his retirement, that he's a bit upset that they're putting Daniel Rodriguez to fight Neil Magny. He says on the post, quote, "LOL, didn't I just ask for this scrap? That's wild," right after he starts talking about his retirement. So I don't think he's going to do it unless he gets absolutely nothing he's asking for. I don't know if the organization wants Kevin Holland to retire, but that at the same time, he's not like the biggest draw in the world. He's not an important component to their plans moving forward, especially getting dominated by Khamzat Chimaev. And that's what a lot of people thought that this was all about, that he got dominated by Khamzat. He had no moments in that fight and just got completely out-wrestled and perhaps destroyed his confidence. I don't think that's what it was. I think this is more of a negotiation tactic mixed with a bit of frustration over this Daniel Rodriguez and Neil Magny fight. But do you know who should be more frustrated than him? Li Jingliang. That is so dirty to this guy. All the craziness that happened that week when Lee fought Daniel Rodriguez, and he doesn't even get a rematch. I have no idea why. It might even be Lee's fault. Maybe they offered it to him and he didn't take it for whatever reason. We don't know the actual details as to why the rematch between Jingliang and Rodriguez didn't happen, as Rodriguez even himself said that he's up for a rematch with Lee. But you never know how these things go. Maybe they threw Neil Magny as a name as well. Why would Rodriguez want to go backtrack to fight Li Jingliang when he has a higher ranked opponent in Neil Magny that he can go up and fight? It is his career, man. It is a selfish sport, and it kind of does remind me a little bit of what happened with Tony Ferguson and Dustin Poirier. But Li Jingliang is definitely someone that got screwed over more than anybody else in the past couple weeks, more than Kevin Holland. But Kevin Holland said that he wants to fight either Wonderboy or Rodriguez, and seemingly he's getting neither of those. So it is a bit illogical, in my opinion, for him to want to retire, to literally cut off his entire career because he doesn't get two opponents that he's looking for. His main goal is to become a champion, right? His main goal is to be the best fighter he can be. 1 or 2 fights getting scrapped from his plans is enough for him to push the button to end his career. That's why it tells me it's more of a negotiation tactic here. Because these fights didn't come to fruition for him, he wants something else in return, or he's threatening retirement. And hopefully, if those are his plans to retire, he has other plans outside of the sport to go to. Because the worst thing would be is he doesn't have any plans outside the UFC, and they don't give him what he wants, and then he's left with nothing. But it looks like with this whole car club thing that he has it figured out, which I'm very happy for. I mean, if he in fact does officially retire, I hope nothing but the best for Kevin Holland. 100%. He's always been fun to watch. One of the funnest fighters, one of the most exciting fighters to look forward to that wasn't even ranked. I mean, when do you ever see that? Besides like maybe the Diaz brothers, Kevin Holland is a fighter that a lot of the fans looked forward to watch, even though he wasn't in the top 15 or the top 10. Even though a lot of people knew his weaknesses, the same weaknesses that he admits to, doesn't affect anybody's anticipation. Kevin Holland always brought a fight, and I can speak for all of us fans that it's been more than a pleasure, more than just pure entertainment to watch Kevin Holland's career. I mean, I remember his first fight in the UFC when he fought Thiago Santos on short notice. He was like talking while getting beat up and stuff like that. It was hilarious to watch. And moving forward, went on a 3-fight win streak, even beating Gerald Mearshart in a very close decision. Mind you, he just got into the UFC not too long ago. His knockout against Joaquin Buckley, that backstep right hand was picture perfect. And I don't think anybody would ever forget his knockout victory over Jacare Souza. Punches off the back, that's insane, man. And against one of the most dangerous grapplers to ever compete in MMA. He was also like a real-life Batman, fighting crime out there and stuff. Kevin Holland is such an amazing person. And we all thank Kevin Holland for stepping up against Khamzat Chimaev on short notice like that. Even though stylistically it was a nightmare of a matchup, he needed to be properly prepared for a guy like that, a guy who's a kryptonite to him. Stepping in there with no preparation is insane and is entirely admirable. He ran the risk of snapping his win streak. He was on a 2-fight win streak, both finishes against Alex Oliveira and Tim Means, and he was winning that fight against Kyle Dawkins before the headbutt happened. That was snapped, losing to Khamzat because he wanted to take on short notice, but he most likely did get paid from it, as he said in his Instagram post. So I'm very happy for him if that's in fact what he wanted at the end of the day. And whatever venture he wants to go to in the future, whether it be staying in the UFC and getting the fight that he wants, or just dealing with what's happening, or even retiring from the sport and pursuing any other passion that he has or anything that he's really looking forward to, I'm full of support for Kevin Holland, man. These fighters would do very well with the fan support.